right. Well, first of all, again, thanks for joining us here on Utah Mammoth DNA. This is a channel that we have specifically for your Utah Mammoth. If you are watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, or you're tuning into our live stream, a link to in the description down below to Utah Mammoth DNA will be listed in the description below. So be sure to join the channel and join the conversation and talk some hockey, man. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
All right. So first thing we want to talk into, which is something we actually wanted to discuss last week, but we just kind of got derailed on it, didn't get around to it, which is something that popped out last week, which was a change during the collective bargaining agreement. I believe this came out July 1st or something, or somewhere around then, that they're going to be changing things. They are changing things to, well, let's first talk about the schedule. They're changing it to an 84-game schedule next year in the NHL.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're going to change it. They're going to expand the season from 82 to 84 games starting in 26 into the 27 season, which is going to reduce the preseason games to 4 exhibition games per team. And then the extra regular season games will be intra-division matchups to ensure 4 games per season against each division rival. So the last time the NHL had an 84-game season was in the 93-94 season.
I don't know, man. I think it's pretty crazy that they're switching this up. I mean, there's a lot of changes going on when it comes to the NHL. I mean, there's talk about expansion, even potential 4 more teams, 4 more cities coming into the league. Does this league really have that type of growth in it right now?
I think the league is trending upward, and I think it's something that they have to look at because you want to be one of the major sports in the country, right? And it hasn't, like I guess I didn't really follow hockey at all until it came to Utah.
Right.
You know,
until it talks to the potential of it, yeah.
But now all of a sudden they're pushing into these markets and, making a stride. And I mean, I think, getting out of Arizona, that helped them, right? They had a team that was just really suffering down there. And they brought it to Utah and the team's flourishing and they're showing that they can move teams strategically into markets and they're getting a ton of support. And when you have that kind of support moving into any market, what are you going to do? You're going to go find new markets, right? You're like, where else can we put an NHL team? If they're going to keep supporting it, like, what just happened in Salt Lake, well, let's keep going.
Isn't the risk of expansion causing the problem that you just avoided in the first place by relocating the team?
It is, but I mean, you're all risk versus reward at that point, right? Like if you can find markets that are fighting for teams, fighting markets that have, that are looking for the opportunity to support a team full time, like just like Utah was, right? We sold out every single one of those home games. So,
and we don't want to hear it in the comments, by the way, about the minimum seating capacity. We don't want to hear it. All right.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's great for the NHL. I mean, honestly, I think it's really cool to think that they're growing at that rate where they need to, potentially look at more expansion.
Yeah. We'll discuss it in a future episode about which potential teams might be up for expansion and where that can look like and what that can end up being. I think I prefer to actually make sure that we have existing cities full capacity. Make sure that we have the teams where they need to be.
Yeah, and I don't know the NHL good enough to know that if there's any teams that are just really struggling.
There were some comments in a previous episode, like way back when we started, to say that the league is already diluted in talent because of how many teams there are already.
Yeah,
we were seeing comments like that, and I think, I don't know, expanding an additional 4 teams, which is for another conversation for another day. We'll jump into that. We'll jump into that at that time. But circling back to the 84-game schedule, this is actually going to start next season in the 2026-27 season in the NHL, part of the collective bargaining agreement that passed. That means the preseason has been shorted to 4 exhibition games due to the expansion of the regular season. Do you think full exhibition games are enough to really get a team ramped up?
I think so. I mean, I think you're going to play a ton of preseason hockey as it is. You know what I mean? And you hate to say it, but like the more full exhibition games you're going to play, you just start worrying about injury and all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, that's the reason most major professional sports teams like have ramped down their preseason stuff, because the games mean nothing. It's just to get out there and, get on the ice, start running through some of your basic stuff. You're not trying to give anybody tape or, trying to put together any schemes on ice that anybody could watch. So yeah. I think 4 is probably just enough.
Yeah, I'd have to say with our first inaugural season, I was watching some of the preseason games, and around 3, definitely 4, I'm just like, okay, let's get going here.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah.
You already knew what the starting lineup on the ice was going to be. You're going to know what the you know what the switch outs were going to be and all that kind of stuff already, right?
Yep.
But at the end of so just a few things we want to talk about here that also was included in that collective bargaining agreement. They probably don't warrant a full episode. If they do, let us know what you think if you want us to cover that in a little bit more detail. But there was a reduction in the max amount, the max time contract could be given out, which was 7 years to current players on their current team.
Yep.
So the max you can extend a player is 7 years. And then there's also a reduction to 6 years for max contract extension for free agent. Not a contract extension, but the max term they can give players was 6 years off for free agency.
Right. Yeah, and those are down from 8 and 7 respectively. And that shift in contracts is kind of leading more towards like short-term, high-value deals. Try to get players paid in a shorter time.
Yeah.
But with that same thing happening, they also introduce a salary cap.
Right. But the salary cap does increase due to the TV deal. It does increase every year.
Right.
So.
And it's just a playoff salary cap is actually what it is. So the playoff salary
cap. Right. They closed that loophole. That was a big part of it. Yeah. For sure. The other thing that I want to mention. So on that though, who do you think got the win on that one? Was it the owners or the players on that one? Because we could talk about this stuff in baseball and in basketball and have a pretty good idea about on this one. I don't know who really wins that one. Is it the owners or the players on this one? I think
everybody wins in this.
I
mean, as crazy as that is, I think everybody kind of wins, right? Because as an owner, you're allowed to give a little bit more money in a shorter term, so you don't lock yourself in, right? It's a little bit easier to manage your books. As a player, you get more money on a shorter term. If something happens, you've got your money locked in, and you can also move out. And move on to a new contract in a shorter time frame. So I think it's a great move.
Yeah, it gives players a lot more time to get to the next free agency contract deal. There's a potential next big deal versus a lot of these hockey players, which
if you're on an 8-year deal, dude, you can spend your whole career in one place.
Yeah, on a 20-year contract. On a 10-year contract, 8-year contract with one team where the salary cap's got up 3 or 4%. And now your contract's like a steal, Yeah. So I think it's pretty good. I think it's a good idea for both the players and the owners. I could see it going both ways there when it comes to who's getting the better deal out of that one. But I just was curious on what you thought there. One more thing I want to note: by the end of this particular CBA extension, which would need to be ratified by the end of next season, but they got it done early. Congratulations, NHL! You doing something that the NBA and the MLB can't do. But by getting that extension handled early, the minimum salary by the end of this CBA, it's going to be $1 million a year.
Really?
Yeah. $1 million.
Yeah.
It's a minimum salary for an AHL player by the end of this contract. This collective bargaining.
That's actually a pretty decent salary, though.
That's not in the NBA. That's not in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
They don't hit $1 million.
No, I think the minimum NBA salary is $775.
Yeah, and I think it's around $860, $870. Correct me, friends of the channel, if I'm wrong on that one. But yeah, I'm just like, $1 million is going to be the minimum salary for the AHL. So again, I have to stress this. Growth mode, sure. Expanding more teams, lengthening the season, higher AAV, salary cap going up every year, $1 million minimum salary. Like, what's going on, man? Like, I don't know. Maybe there's just the exponential growth in hockey is just there and we're not seeing it. But if Utah helped in any way to kind of help push that forward, I think that's great. But yeah, I don't know, man. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. I want to hit on a few of these comments here. We got one from Pacific Northwest Ute, seeing 84 games. That's Mammoth season. I saw what you did there, dude. Saw what you did there. Excluding fight equivalency to 2 games per season, NHL seasons will be the same length as the NBA. Weren't they the same length as the NBA?
It's like excluding fights equivalent to 2 games per season.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. I'm slow. That's how it works. But yeah, I think that's awesome, man. Appreciate. Thank you, Pacific Northwest Ute, for chiming in there on that. One thing we also want to talk about when it comes to the Utah Mammoth is also going to be our new guy, man. We talked about this a little bit last week. JJ Peter, is it Peterka?
Peterka.
Peterka.
Believe, yeah.
Peterka. Okay. I got to get better at these hockey names, man. They're killing me.
They just get you every time, man.
Yeah, even though I listen to it like 1,000 times before we hit record, and I'll put a phonetic spelling in my notes, I still trip over it every single time. It drives me nuts, man. I think it's a great idea that I decided to,
You just got to own it, though. You know what I mean? Like, once you say it one time, just go with it, and then we can get tore apart in the comments for the next week.
Yeah, I picked a great thing. When a friend of mine said, "Hey, let's start a sports podcast."
That guy's an idiot, dude.
I don't know why I listen to that guy. Anyway, so there's a reason why we want to bring this up. I know we talked about it a lot last week, but we're bringing it up again because we did acquire him in a trade for with the Sabres, and we did talk about it a lot last week. But there's a reason why we're bringing it up again, and that's because we've heard from him since then.
Yeah,
he's actually had an interview with Zoom with the press here, and he had a chance to talk. He found out when he was on a golf trip in Spain when he found out about the trade. Did you hear about this?
I did see this, yeah.
Yeah. So apparently it was reported that he actually requested a trade from the Sabres. I don't know if you read into any of that or not, but it was reported by The Athletic that he actually requested a trade from the Sabres. I don't know if that was verified or not, but I don't follow too much on the scuttlebutt there on NHL, like as close as I follow other sports. So we'll have to see on that. But yeah, man, what do you hear from him on how he thought about when he was coming to Utah?
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much just went straight into the media and talked about how excited he was about, the mountain environment in Salt Lake City and how it was, really reminiscent of his hometown in Munich, and how he viewed the 5-year contract as a sign of mutual commitment and a belief in Utah's long-term potential. And he talked about how eager he was to meet his new teammates and contributed to the team's success. So,
yeah, we chatted about this a lot last week. How we not only did we make the trade, but he immediately signed a contract extension.
Yeah,
and the team came to him with that. So the fact that he saw that as a mutual, like you mentioned, a mutual commitment to both sides. I think that's awesome, man. I mean, I want to talk about this a little bit more detailed because he's like, first of all, he's like, they were pretty happy is what he's quoted to say. Playing there once, just the atmosphere was great. He said the fans felt like they were so tight and right on the ice. It's going to be really exciting. He said it's going to feel like home because of where he is in the Alps there in Munich, Germany. It's very similar to how it is in Utah, and he's really excited about that. And we chat about this a little bit before in a different video, but the main reason why we're bringing this up and we're talking about this is because this isn't the first we've heard about NHL players wanting to come or looking forward to coming to Utah.
Yeah.
Which we've read reports that they're polling inside the league that Utah is actually a top 5 preferred destination right now for not only players who are requesting trades, but also free agents. Now, from a town where we're usually having to overpay for free agents to get them here, and having players block trades, which we'll get into that a little bit later when we talk about Utah Jazz basketball. But this is really refreshing to actually have this kind of excitement around players actually wanting to be here, and how this is something that we're not used to seeing in this market.
Yeah, no, and I mean, you nailed it though. It's super refreshing, right? Because we finally got a team where players want to come and they want to spend, a better portion of their careers here. But I think it's, we kind of got to give, props to Ryan Smith and his investment into the program. And, they've got a brand new practice facility coming at the Southtown Center. Obviously they're making all the renovations to the stadium to make sure that hockey and the Jazz both have their own locker rooms. And
probably another video we probably should do there is an update on that.
Yeah. I mean, just doing a lot of really cool stuff to make sure players get here and feel comfortable. Salt Lake does feel more like a hockey town than anything else. Mm-hmm. I think, like, as weird as that is.
It's already swinging that way, man.
Yeah, it's just starting to feel that way. I mean, you see more and more people wearing Utah Hockey Club or Utah Mammoth gear all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool. It's nice to see, once again, the Valley get kind of behind whatever, major league teams or professional teams we have here.
Yeah, and also have that same thing coming from the players too. And we'll get into the whole Ace Bailey thing and how it works in the NBA. If you need us to explain to you why the players in the NBA don't want to come to Utah and why people from the NHL seem to want to come, we'll leave that conversation for somebody else to answer for you.
Yeah, to ask one of your friends and they'll tell you.
Yeah, well, we've covered that enough. We got enough into the weeds that we feel comfortable going on that one. But also on this one, I didn't get a chance to talk about this last week, so I want to bring it up on this trade here. This move, to me, was the move.
Yeah.
This was it. With Logan Cooley, Dylan Gunther taking a step forward next year, and obviously the captain, Clayton Keller. By adding JJ, I think this move was what pushed them into playoff contention. I think this was the move.
I
don't
agree.
know. What do you think?
I totally agree. I mean, this guy had 68 points last season, 27 goals and 41 assists. That's in 77 games of, playing with Buffalo last season. He played on the top line. He was the first power play unit. I think this guy is, like you said, we were kind of on the brink. You know what I mean? Like we weren't quite there yet. We needed a little bit more. This move really pushes that offense in. Coach Turigny is going to demand two-way play. He's going to demand that this guy gets in there and plays defense. He talks about it all over the media. And, JJ Peterka acknowledged, like, straight out the gate that he needs to grow defensively so that he can continue to thrive in this system. And, he kind of got insight on Turigny's coaching style from, one of his former teammates, Jack Quinn.
Okay.
And he kind of praised Turigny as tough but fair. So for JJ to say that he recognizes that and he's willing to grow on the defensive end, he's already there offensively. This kid's a stud offensively. It's just a perfect match, really, and it's something that we've now got a team on the younger side that's full of talent and is really probably ready to make that next push into the playoffs.
100% agree with you on that one, man. Love it. Once again, folks, we did just launch a channel specifically for your Utah Mammoth hockey club called Utah Mammoth DNA, formerly Utah Hockey DNA. AJ did a very nice job on this. Look at that. Looks great. If you have not yet, check out that channel. A link to that channel will be in the description down below. If you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, or if you're catching us on the live stream, we'll link to that as well in the description down below. So be sure to check us out over there, and all of our Utah Mammoth content will be posted there first. So be sure to check us out on that channel if that's what you're here to watch us for.